Hello, welcome to our little broadcast for the Church of Yah. We believe that the church today has become all building and no body. Our concept is to be all body and no building. We believe that the church itself can't go across the street and build ramps for the elderly in the neighborhood and things of that nature. It's up to the constituents of that church. And with the current church model, we believe that the building of bigger churches sometimes comes before the immediate community. We see oftentimes a plethora of churches in an immediate area, and together as a whole, we are divided under the current church model, and we believe that under the Church of Yah, to be all body and no building, we believe that this model will be better for mankind. We believe that this church model is to return to the model without spot or blemish, which is to see about widows, orphans, children, poverty-stricken, elderly, and things of that nature. So, without further ado, we would like to just inform you that we are going to be broadcasting on Saturdays. We believe that the Sabbath day is on Saturday, not just by looking at the Julian calendar, but before it was named Julian, the Sabbath was on Saturday. Now, to set up today's passage, we're going to get into a little bit about history. We know that Alexander the Great conquered Northeast Africa about 336 BC by consensus. Now, this is roughly 336 years before zero, when the birth of the Messiah, Jesus, who we call Yeshua, was born. So roughly 366 years before the Messiah began his missionary journey is the gap of time before the Roman colonization and the time he began his ministry. Now, this sets up a whole different ideology. If you can picture from in the United States, let's say from 1492, when Columbus said he discovered America. Let's just say 1592, they started migrating here, 1692. So we're talking about 17, 18, 1992, about 300 years later. You know, it's like, try to find an Indian downtown Dallas today or downtown New York. But just then, that was, right now, the indigenous personage is not available in its racial essence. It has now been colonized over a period of almost 350 years. So our verse today is going to come out of Matthew, and we're talking about the verse Hosanna. Hosanna, when the Passover came about, it was a trip once to the temple once a year, and it was a religious ordeal. Now, when we talk about a religious ordeal in Passover, we're talking about a plethora of people going to one specific location. We're not talking about just a few people. This was a way of life. This was really a big deal. And what had happened at the time over the period of the colonization, now they have monetized the issue. It is now not about the reverence of Yah and things of that nature. By the time Yeshua arrives on the scene, they are now taking money at the temple. So this, the money itself, with the Roman coinage and things of that nature, this was all a new system. So when the Messiah shows up on the scene, and they are placing palm leaves and things of this nature, and they are calling Hosanna. So let's go to Matthew 21, verse 9. And the multitudes that went before that followed cried, saying, Hosanna to the Son of David. Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest. Now, with the songs that are being sung today, the connotation for Hosanna could be praise, but it comes from the Hebrew Hosanna, which means save us. So the people looking out, on the outside looking in, that have historically gone to the temple long before the Roman colonization and the monetization of the religious aspect, these people now were on the outside looking in, and they were wanting some relief. They were wanting some help. They realized that when they moved in, they put their own gods in the temple and things of that nature. That's what caused the Maccabean revolt. So when we look at these times when the Messiah came through, and they were saying Hosanna, what they were really saying, the indigenous people of the continent, the people that had been pushed out, like I said, it's like trying to find an Indian in downtown New York today, but they were trying to get some relief from what had been going on. They were screaming out to the man, save us. This is a totally different connotation than what we see. So what does he do then? He said, the people say, save us. And then, let's go down to verse 12. And Jesus went into the temple of God and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple and overthrew the tables of the money changers. Now, there you have it in a nutshell. Save us was in direct relation to return us back to our true religion, the religion in which the name you came. The name Yeshua, of course, means Yah saves. And of course, Yah points to the one he was praying to in the Garden of Gethsemane, the one he was praying to on the cross, and to the hands he committed his spirit. We're talking about the one who created, the one true creator, the same creator that goes further into the story than just a narrative level. And we're talking about on into the personages of Tutankhamun and Akhenaten, whose wife was Yuya, whose father and whose my father and mother was Thuya and Tiya, and things of that nature. So we're talking about Yah in essence, the creator. And when we were talking about the Passover, we're talking about not a few people, but a plethora of people on a passage, on a trip, on a yearly expedition to praise Yah, to give reverence to Yah. And at the time, they were buying blemished goods, and that was not of Yah. We were supposed to give our best, our first fruits. So there we have it. Our message for today was basically to inform you that Hosanna in its connotation is basically Hosanna. They were not saying praise you, going in there. They were saying save us, save us. And what did he do? He went directly to the temple and he started overturning the tables of the money changers and drew all of them out with cords and things of that nature. He was as busy as a one-legged man in the butt kicking contest about trying to get the business right. Now, we're going to be bringing messages with a Hebrew twist and things of that nature, and we hope that they are a little more eye-opening and a little closer to the truth and a little help you with your walk. Now, our mission is to eradicate poverty. When we mention that we are all body and no building, what we propose is that once a Saturday, on the first Saturday of each month, that you tithe into our organization, that we may go forth and eradicate poverty. What happens is we know that it's tough to break away from the church as we know it, and we know this is revolutionary and somewhat radical. However, we know it's good ground, and we know that what we're talking about, even though revolutionary is what it is, nobody's going to take the building and take the building around the community. We see that if we can just take all of the mega churches in Dallas, let's take Dallas area alone. We take the 5 top churches in the Dallas area alone. We can eradicate poverty. As a former educator, I've seen kids come across the street with sheets on their back and shoes that are too small. And I know that one Sunday alone, we can eradicate poverty. So if we all come together, just think that what we can do in one Sunday. So we're not talking about in Dallas alone, we're talking about in the nation. So I really have a big vision for the Church of Yah, and I think that we're going to be the model for the church of the future, and this is only the beginning. So if you will, you see the donate button, get in where you fit in. If you will, every Saturday, we would appreciate if you would sow into our ministry that we may go forth and do good. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
There you are.